Am I wrong for giving a very blunt and honest answer on why I had a gap on my resume? A hiring manager told me that losing a loved one doesn't justify 9 months away from work. I told her exactly who I lost. The room went completely silent. Last Friday, I went into a third-round interview with a company I had worked for before. New management, good history with the place. A recruiter had approached me. I hadn't gone looking for this. It was a potential 30% pay increase, so I figured why not? The panel was my potential direct manager, their manager above them, and the recruiter. They asked about a 9-month gap in my resume from 2020, asked if it was due to COVID. I said no. The recruiter asked me to elaborate. I told them I needed time to grieve after the loss of family. I was already getting visibly upset saying that much. The manager above my potential manager looked at me and said that a loss of a loved one doesn't justify a 9-month gap on a resume. I was trying very hard not to break down in that room. 2 weeks before lockdown came into effect, my parents and both my siblings died in a car crash. A drunk truck driver ran a red light and hit my dad's car while they were heading home. I would have been in that car. I wasn't because my boyfriend lived 5 minutes away and I had gone to stay at his that night. I have thought about that fact every single day since. I looked at the manager and told her very clearly that perhaps losing one loved one doesn't warrant a 9-month gap, but losing both parents and both siblings at the same time does. The room went dead quiet. Nobody knew what to say. I apologized and said I needed to leave. After the interview, the recruiter contacted me and said my response was uncalled for. My grandparents told me it wasn't tactful. My grandparents lost their children and grandchildren in that crash. They are still telling me I should have been more professional in a job interview. My fiancé said I put them exactly where they needed to be. I want to add something the interviewer didn't know. 9 months was not enough. I went back to work because my bills didn't pay themselves, not because I had finished grieving. I am still in therapy. I don't know if there is a finish line for something like this. I also became the legal guardian for my niece after the crash. My youngest sister had her at 16 and passed at 23. Her father had surrendered his parental rights, so I came back from 9 months of grief and became a parent. I withdrew my application after the recruiter called my response uncalled for. I have a job. I don't need one that begins with someone telling me my entire family dying doesn't count as a reason to take time off. Some people have asked if I was too harsh given the salary increase. I understand that question. I just couldn't work somewhere that started like that. I keep going back to what she said, that a loss of a loved one doesn't justify 9 months. I don't think my answer was uncalled for. I think her question was. And I think there's a significant difference between those two things that she has probably not thought about once since I left that room.